Judy, you like what you saw this preseason?
Yeah, I mean, I feel good about everything that I put on tape. I think the biggest thing is I have a lot of great mentors between players and coaches to learn from the things I've done well and also the mistakes I've had. There's a great group of veterans around me, Aaron and Mason in my room, but then, it kind of extends beyond that between Pittman, DK, Fryer, Pat. So there's a lot of great veterans on the offensive side of the ball specifically that, have been great for me, and I feel like, I've learned from the things that I haven't done well and improved upon that.
Drew, how far do you think your game has come just over the time you've been in the studio?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is I feel really confident in the offense in terms of how to operate it as a quarterback, not second-guessing myself when I'm out there. The coaches do a great job of, preparing us for these games because I know it's not like that everywhere. Like, you kind of get the game plan last minute. The coaching staff has been great with that and being very detailed with the game plan, making it easy on whoever's out there just to go out and play fast and execute. So I feel really strong with that.
How do you evaluate your first experience in a road venue?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I played well. I know there's plays that come to mind that I want to have back, but it's definitely, it was loud on that 2-minute drive. Like that stadium is going to be really loud for opposing teams. I don't know how many fans they had. They did have a lot, but it's going to be a really challenging environment to play in. But that's the great part about the NFL. There's not many bad. I don't think there's any bad places to go and play a game away from home. But yeah, I mean, overall, I felt pretty good about my performance. Again, there's a couple plays that come to mind in situational football where I can be a little bit more maybe conservative with my approach to the game at some points.
Well, can you kind of take us through, not just like play by play or anything like that, but just how you were feeling throughout that entire process? Because I know you had one last week, but it wasn't with, you're down by one, you get to field goal opportunity. So, like, how did that go for you?
No, I felt comfortable operating out there. Obviously, it didn't go the way that we wanted to in terms of going down and winning the game. But I felt confident with the operation and all the guys that were out there. O-line, again, bringing in the stadium noise. O-line did a great job of handling that really well and not having any false starts or Crip did a really good job of listening to the snap count. Because I know that's really challenging for those guys up front. And then perimeter, I thought we executed well. That last play that comes to mind, I just got to give Lake a better chance to come down with that ball. We kind of already talked about it. But I think those are, as much as we wanted to go down and win the game, it's also great things to learn from, especially, speaking for myself, just being in different situations. And gaining experience in those just to know next time, whether it's practice or a game or whatever, the next time I'm in that situation, I know, what to expect and how to handle that a little bit better.
Approach the next 4 months, and you're probably not going to play a game again until next year, barring some year or whatever. How do you remind me, other than being injured last year, you probably played football every fall. What do you kind of set out to do?
Yeah, I think you just go in each week preparing as if you're the starter because, like you said, you never know what can happen in that sense. But you always want to come in and, for me, it's going to be finding my role. I'm going to have to find my role week 1 against Atlanta to help the team in whatever I can do to contribute to winning football, whether that's me on scout team, me helping the other quarterbacks out with anything or just, anything to help, us be successful on Sundays is going to be my role. And, I think the first couple weeks it's going to be me really figuring that out and really what I can do to help contribute to the team success overall.
How do you kind of anticipate spending this weekend? It can be nerve-wracking, even if you have a roster spot, you have teammates, guys that you came in with, that their futures are up in the air. Mm-hmm. How do you kind of handle the emotions that are kind of going to come in the next couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, something that's going to be new to all of us, no matter what situation we're in. And, that's the unfortunate part. Like, it's been a great, going back to OTAs, but really this training camp cycle, like getting to know all these guys, whether they're 7-year vets, 10-year vets, or the rookies that I've come in with. It's been great getting to know all these guys and just building connections with them. But for me personally, I think it's just going to be laying low, just doing some recovery stuff, and just maybe find a good place to eat around Pittsburgh. So yeah.
You mentioned obviously you get a ton of mentorship from Aaron Rodgers, but
You mentioned DK and Fryermuth. What are some of the things that they're imparting on you? What do you learn from guys that aren't in your quarterback room?
Yeah, I think the most important thing from those guys is just them being accepting of me, I guess. I know that's kind of maybe weird to say, but they've been very accepting of me, making me feel included in a lot of things. I think the vets across the board, offense, defense, special teams, have done a great job of that. But, you know, I'm very fortunate to have the older group of guys around me that I do have. And, you know, them just being, I guess, being open to help me bring out more of my personality, I guess, because I'm definitely more introverted on the natural side of it. But they've been really easy to get along with and just talk to. And you know, they're a great group of vets to learn from and be around in general.
I'm sure you were confident.
Two more.
I'm sure you're confident coming in, but do you leave this preseason thinking, all right, I belong here. I've seen it at least in the preseason level that I should be here today.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, that's something really going back to college that I had to learn how to think like that. I'd say like for me, going back to my freshman year of college when I first early enrolled at Penn State, I felt like I didn't belong just because of everything that, you know, I was going through in terms of being away from home, being 17 at the time, and then again going against, at that time, grown men when I'm barely hitting puberty. I'm sure Franklin would say that as well. But that was great for me to go through, because then after that, you know, you just have to have that self-belief in yourself. So for me, you know, I really rely on my preparation to give me confidence. So whenever I'm, you know, thrusted into practice or a preseason game like this, like I go in feeling like and knowing that I belong in terms of just because I know the work I put in the off season throughout the week to go out there and, you know, give my best effort to be successful.
Anything else? It is a four-last position room during the season. I mean, just the dynamic of, and you talk a lot about Aaron, even Mason. Will's, I don't know if he's older than, I guess he's older than you by a little bit, but
Yeah.
you know, he's been in the league at least for a year. The dynamic before you work together from here on out for 18 weeks.
I'm really looking forward to it because it's a fun quarterback room to be a part of. Honestly, I'm learning a ton about football, but just the conversations that we have, whether it's away from the meeting room or out on the practice field, that really don't have anything to do with football, are honestly some of the most fun conversations we have. So that's the part I'm looking forward to, just continuing to build all the personal relationships that I have with those guys, because those guys have been great to me. Like Mason was great out there for me today on the sideline, just helping me out with stuff, giving me reminders and just tips and tips and pointers out there when I was out there early in the drive again. So that group has been great for me, and I'm excited just to help them out in any way I can now.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Drew.